So, the next question is asking you to write linear equations. So they give you information and they want you to write an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. Remember that if I want to write the form y equals plus b, you have to have two things. You have to have the slope and the y-intercept. These are the things that you really need. Now the first question is telling you that write an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b if the slope is -3 and the y-intercept is 5. It's giving you that the slope is -3 and the y-intercept is 5. Information are already given to you. All what you have to do is put them in the corresponding letter. What does -3 replace? Which letter? M, right? So slope is -3. What does 5 replace? B. So it would be -3x plus 5. Done. That's it. If the information are given to you, they gave you the slope, they gave you the y-intercept. All what you had to do, you know that this is the slope, and you know that this is the y-intercept, right? So all what you have to do is replace the number and the letter, like in the corresponding letter. Okay? Now this is the easy one.
Yeah.
It's not that easy for all of us. Now, the next question is asking you to find, again, the equation of the line passing through points 5, 7, and -2, -3. So in this case, they don't give you any slope, and they don't give you any, they give you 2 points. Right? So they give you 2 points. How can I find, this is going to be a very long question, okay? That's right. So to find the slope, there is a formula for it. The formula is rise over run, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This I use if I'm given 2 points, which is, that's the case I have. Okay? So, can I have your attention? So the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I have my 2 points, so I have to assign the letters for them. A point is x, y, right? We all know that. The first value of the point is x, the second value is y, right? So I'm going to call this x1, and this is y1, because they represent the first point. Are we okay with that? I'm going to call this x2, y2, because they represent my second point. Always, a point is made up of 2 values. It's made up of the x and the y. Okay, x always goes first, alphabetical order. Now, all what I have to do is replace these values in the corresponding formula. Okay, what's the value of y2? -3. So I have to replace this with a -3. And then minus, what's y1? 7. Oh, x2 is -2 minus, what's x1? 5. You see what happened? No? Okay. y2, right? It's -3. So I replace the y2 with a -3, right? Then I have a minus, so I wrote that. Then y1 is 7. So I replace the y1 with a 7. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, then x2 is negative 2. So I replace x2 with a negative 2.
Okay.
And then x1 is 5. So I replace, and I put the negative, obviously, here. And then I put 4. Are you okay with that now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I have to put things together. So negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10. Over negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. Okay? So because negative over negative gives me positive, I can write it as 10 over 7. And that is my slope. Okay? So far, I found one part of my equation. I found the slope. I still have to find the y-intercept. I'm not done yet. Right? So all what I know so far is this. Now, I have to solve for b. So to solve for b, I have to pick one of the equations, one of the points that I have, either this or this, and plug it into my equation to solve for b. Because the minute I plug in this in x and y, I'm left with only b as my variable. Make sense? Okay. So which point do you pick? It doesn't matter. Both of them are going to work. Right? Both of them are going to give you the same answer. I always look for the ones that doesn't have too many negatives, because negatives can make people kind of make mistakes. Okay? So I'm going to pick the first point. For x, I'm going to plug in 5. For y, I'm going to plug in 7. Are you okay with that? So it's going to be 7 equals 10 over 7 times 5 plus b. Right? You should see right now that the only letter I have available is b. Right? That's the only one that I'm going to have to solve for. So this is where the fractions come in, and then everyone hates it, and you know, life is miserable. It's okay. So multiply 10 over 7 by 5, that gives me 50 over 7. I'm gonna have to bring the 50 over 7 over because that's my number. So it becomes a negative 50 over 7. Are we okay up till now? Yes? Okay. Trust me, you're going to be happy to know that you won't have to do a lot of this. Now, 7 minus 50 over 7. How can I subtract or add fractions? That's right. Common denominator is very important for adding fractions. What's the denominator for this 7? 1. Right? Because it's a whole number, it's divided by 1. So what would be my common denominator between the 1 and the 7? 7. So I have to multiply this by 7. Right? Both the top and the bottom. Right? This one I don't have to change because I already have that denominator of 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So I have 49 over 7 minus 50 over 7. If you have a good calculator that gives you fractions, you don't have to do all this. So the answer is negative 1 over 7, right? Because if I subtract the numerator, that will be negative 1 over 7. So your y-intercept is negative 1 over 7. So finally, my equation, my slope is 10 over 7. And minus 1 over 7. And that's the end of my equation. Yes, when you come to graph it, you have to put it in decimal to be able to graph it. Okay. For the other questions, I want you to try them at home today, or right now if you want to stay till 11.